Arlington National Cemetery. Up ahead there you see Sam and Levi, our bus drivers. Slightly overcast, drizzling today as we prepare to go up for the changing of the guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where our kids will present a wreath from Lewis Middle School. According to our guide, nearly 2 million Americans are buried here, along with a few foreigners, for particular military and diplomatic reasons of foreigners that are here. Above we see the Lee House, the flag at half mast today.
Hey, come on.
Jeez. Mr. Michael
They had like, it was about raisins in this town. You know, I hate it when the queen's like, I don't like it.
What do you want, $100?
Yeah. Some old lady next home. Sorry, man.
You're gonna like it, though. Is that a boy?
Sorry, cut it off. Yeah. Hey, John. They didn't leave it to me.
Shut up. He's talking to you like that like a tough guy. What are you doing?
Walk away.
Gerald.
Stop.
Chuck, you want to move?
Thank you.
You're going to push me in the way.
Guys, we're leaving!
No, walk in front of the camera.
My group?
Robin, wake up!
Okay, rock away.
His daughter's dead.
Hey!
I don't know what to tell you about that one, babe.
Gone with the wind.
Mettiamo la catena e poi facciamo un set. Ecco, quei ragazzi lì un po' sbrindati.
Nel sud. Grandi uomini. Nel sud erano tutti così. Sì, ricchissimi. In tutti i paesi. La fiera quella era una villa di qui va bene. Guys.
Il quadratino non deve essere sotto il pezzo,
Ma che sotto?
Puoi anche fare così, guarda.
Go back down.
Vabbè, non importa se. Non penso che sia quello sfondo perché
Volevo che ti venuto fuori un po'
mi metto più qua. Dica lei dove vuole.
Listen.
Makeup. Closest to the President of the United States as far as being in the role of government service, armed services. This is my country and I believe in her. That was his motto. I'll protect her against all enemies, foreign and domestic. He was faithful to the services even though he was discriminated against as he came up. He was one of the great leaders of a black squadron during the war. He became a great leader during World War II. So his grave is there, and this area is mostly a lot of the officers' graves. And when we get around to the other side, I'll point it out. Just tell me what you see unusual about this particular gravestone. And if you see it, tell me what it is.
Who's on first, what's on second?
Number one, you can't have. Number one, you can't have 4 legs up.
No, 4 legs down.
It was just serving it.
Scratch those graves.
Jesus.
He wasn't that old when he died. Here's the brown bomber. He was a world champion. Probably a heavyweight.
What heavyweight champion fighter?
Yeah. He was 137 down the corner. How old was he when he was on? No, I think
1949.
he's one of the few
No.
civilians.
Come on up here so that they can tell you what they're saying.
How long have the battle? 12 years.
The grave site of Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. He was put up here by the act of Congress because he didn't really retire. He actually he didn't retire from the services, but he gave exhibition fights and he helped. So Frank Sinatra, I believe, was instrumental, which means he was sort of responsible for Joe Louis being buried here. He died about 4 years ago, and what did he die of?
I don't know.
How did he die? Cirrhosis of the liver. Okay. Okay, who was the captain of the Challenger?
Scobie.
Smith, right.
Smith.
Right. Who was the commander? Scobie. Okay, we're about to see Captain Smith's grave, and we're going to see anybody know Reynolds? Frank Reynolds?
You have to be my age.
Yes.
He was a newsman. He used to come on TV. He was a regular newsman. Come on the 6 o'clock news. He's buried here at, anybody here from North Carolina? He's also buried in this next section. We're going to stop. Okay?
Levi, was Frank Reynolds military, or why is he here?
I think he was military. I think he retired. Newspaper.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, war correspondent, okay.
Right.
I just wondered how he
Got buried here.
yeah, what honor.
No, there's nobody on that. There's nobody on that list though. On green.
Oh, they probably get rid of it. Oh, they probably haven't. I think somebody was just recently buried. Services. Okay. In other words, your father served in World War II. He's died. He's
Amy's so excited you dropped your papers. It's terrible. They catch you on film adjusting your slip.
Sarah.
That's because we want our representatives looking the best they can.
At least we know you have one on, honey.
We're reading lunch today.
No,
No, Jennifer.
we've given it up for Lent.
about to come close because I used Harry this morning. I'm not glad I did. Okay, the large structure, the large building is an amphitheater. What's an amphitheater?
Open air.
Open air. Okay, open air theater. Inside there are medals that honor our Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, our unknown soldier. Different countries have given medals or memorabilia, and to remember when they started the unknown soldier, changing of the guard. Inside the guard, take notice of how many steps he makes
21.
and what he does with his rifle. That's two things I want you to notice when you get up there. The guard that changes, in other words, he'll be going off on the hour, and the guard that comes on will be given the command to guard. Okay, on this side, the sergeant will inspect him. Just take notice of how he inspects him. He'll inspect his rifle. I've seen one sent back. If they're not up to specification, they're sent back. For instance, you have to go back. Okay. But anyway, just watch the inspection. Watch the changing very carefully. They don't want you to sit down. They want you to be very quiet as you watch. Okay? The tomb, the large tomb, is the 50-ton block of white marble. And that's the tomb of the unknown soldier, row 1. The other soldiers, unknown soldiers, are in a slab on the ground. Okay? Okay, you can stand anywhere, you know, but just don't go past.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Durden of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, commander of the relief tomb of the unknown soldier. The ceremony that you're about to witness is a changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you. freeze, and turn. Right shoulder, turn. Post. Right, peak. Forward, turn.
That's a Missouri state bird. It's a state bird of Missouri. Adopted. Bluebird is a state bird. Cardinal adopted. That's what I heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The ceremony that you're about to witness is an Army wreath-laying ceremony to be conducted for Justice Middle School from Marion, Indiana. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform should render the hand salute, and all others place their right hand over their heart upon the command of present arms. Thank you.
Freeze and quirk!
This is the famous Maine Memorial, of course erected in the honor and memory of those sailors and Marines killed in the explosion of the battleship Maine in Havana Harbor. Here you see surrounding it memorabilia. This was the anchor from the battleship Maine. Also interred under the mosque here are the remains of Paderewski, famous Polish statesman and musician, who had requested that until his country regained its freedom from communist domination, that he be buried in the United States. And his request was honored. He is buried here until that time.
Give it up, take this one.
Down below, the monument on the left is to the space shuttle astronauts that were killed, and on the right is the monument to the attempted rescue, or the rescuers who attempted the rescue the hostages in Tehran in Desert One who were killed in the helicopter crash. This, of course, is the amphitheater overlooking the tomb of the unknown soldier. The cross you see here is in memory of Americans who served in the Canadian Army during the Second World War. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here today in Arlington National Cemetery.
I see you again.
To see one of the former drivers who's risen from the dead. And now he's about to be resurrected in more ways than one.
She wouldn't let me. Cut that. This is Brad.
Who drove the other bus last year? We didn't let him come.
I would have been driving this year, but they didn't want me, so I settled for somebody else.
We got signs.
But I'll be back next year.
You happy now? You happy there, young lady?
Huh?
You happy?
No. No.
I did what?
I asked him what you happy.
What's that song? Up from the grave you rose.
Fran, I'm going to give your picture to Levi from last year.
Oh, yeah.
If I just remember to do it.
And we gave her to Levi too. We're here now at the National Zoological Gardens, otherwise known as the National Zoo. Here to see the giant pandas. There's our panda leader.
Watch it.
Down below we see some of the African giraffes.
United States. You can't stand.
To your left you see the pandas. To your right you see the well-known Excelsior Springs dodo bird. Oh, sorry, that's a dildo bird. That's the dildo bird.
Did you see that? Oh, yeah. Mama, did you see that Richard bird? I know. I didn't bring mine.
The giant pandas, they're outside, but they are being rather reclusive. With a great pose. This is Ling Ling, the woman, the female, I should say. And if we lean way out and over and down, we can see Sing Sing, the male. Ling Ling, not a very ladylike pose, but nevertheless, a greatly relaxed panda. noticed that? Aren't they amazing? Long. Look at that. Well, I tell you, there'd be some lessons in French kissing for you, wouldn't there, Trina?
There you go, James. Look.
See out there, friend?
I can't see him. Go down there with him, Michael. He's got his feet up.
She does.
On her
I
back.
already got that picture.
Let's go.
We have our own animals here.
Oh.
Oh, we didn't say what the animals were. Could have said, here we have the Missouri fox. Or is that your sister over there? Amy.
Hustle, hustle.
I saw him from on high. I know, I saw him from on high.
Okay, we'll be back at the bus.
I'm going back that way right now.
Hey, there's Jumbo Dumbo.
It's our brief appearance here at the National Zoo. Comes to a rapid end.
Oh, I get to sleep all the time.
Here we are preparing to ride the metro. Let's go, let's go. Keep the line moving.
Come along, Roger, my dear. I don't want to lose you. Is this the longest escalator?
No, this is not the one.
We're not there yet.
We go up or down?
Well, we're going down, Roger. This.
I mean, on the big one.
Well, now think about it. We're going to ride the metro. We're going down on the ground. So when we get off the metro, there's only one direction really for us to go.
Yeah, I'm going down.
I'm worried about you, Roger, if you're going down. I'm worried. But that's okay. I've been worried about Roger before. So that's his mother. If that's not bad enough, we just recorded all that conversation. No, you can just address me as Mr. Michael, thank you. I don't know, is it? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm trying to film. This is the long one, yes.
I'll send you a picture of a short escalator.
My ears are popping. My ears are popping.
Okay, we just passed over one caboose.
Don't let. What's that making this?
successfully negotiates exiting from the long escalator.
She wishes you would take off the camera, just like camera.
Oh, but it's not like it's focused on you or anything, Nikki. Give us your profile. Show us that lovely face. Everybody back home. Yes, we are going to make it here eventually. Let's go.
I used to go down the F one. Both sides of that one. Have you ever gone down the elevator?
No.
I have.
Let them off first.
You want me to keep that for now?
Yeah, we'll get on the street and come out.
Hey, you ain't bad. You ain't bad. Maybe so.
Your room number.
Let's start with the National Air and Space Museum of the Smithsonian's. Here you see the Spirit of St. Louis, of course famous for Charles E. Lindbergh's flight across the transatlantic flight. You also see the Wright brothers' Kitty Hawk and other famous and important aeronautical walk on through, we'll see several other sites relating to the aeronautical development of the country. Apollo 11 command module, which went to the moon and back. Just recently, famous aviation history of Voyager. Made the non-stop round-the-world flight.
I know! What
The P-80 is one of the first jet fighters. The beginning of aviation. Jets with this ME-262.
That's good.
All part of the great aviation Air and Space Museum. Start the morning, Friday, preparing for their picture at the Capitol. And what a handsome bunch they are. All matching in their t-shirts. Fine looking bunch. Even with Jason in there, a fine looking bunch. Come on everybody, smile, we're having fun here.
I hate that.
The Grant statue, and of course the U.S. Capitol. And our straggler.
No, Michael.
Yeah, everyone come down here. We'd like first all the chaperones come and stand here on the fourth step from the bottom.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody can do this.
All the chaperones come up.
Well, I've got 2 more chaperones.
Folks,
They
move
don't
to
know.
your right a couple.
Now we've finished our panoramic picture. We're preparing to go up to the Capitol. Still here in front of the Grant Memorial. In the background you can hear a band playing on the steps of the Capitol. It's a little chilly here this morning. And the kids are obviously reflecting that.
For those people that were down here, bus stay with the sponsor. Your job is part of the sponsor. Stick with the sponsorship. It's very big if you want it. When we come out on the opposite side of the
Y'all already knew when it got here.
JD and Kim. Hey, excuse me. Sorry. JD. Get your head up and look alive. You look like a couple of dicks. I don't care if it's cold to your lip. Get that shirt where it belongs. Is this Sam? And what? It's Sam.
I believe it's
On through.
Wait a minute. Let Lauren go.
Mr. Michael, what did he do? Turn that off. That's his hobby, don't you know? Because the luggage got lost. What do you want to take there? Turn around, Missy.
I want to prove there is
Missy, turn around.
real life on this planet.
Missy.
Intelligent life, maybe.
Sam's best dollar. They're going to send us 2 complimentary copies so we can stick them up at school.
Good.
Of course, we have the Smithsonian that Wayne said he would get framed too.
All right.
Yeah, that's right too.
I saw a show.
Sam's best load. Hey, I'm 5'1", Hey, I'm almost taller.
No sweat.
All I said was Sam.
Mr. Michael?
Excelsior Springs. Pictures are allowed in here except on the 3rd floor, which is the gallery. Even though this says no This is the rotunda. Yes. This is where yes, when President Kennedy was assassinated, his body lay here in state right at the dome. And that's where all the people come those days to come by his casket. Don't lean over that, please. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Excuse me. Good thing you don't have 10 spoons.
Those in the back, in this area, are filling a semicircle in this area. So let me ask with the video camera, please do not film me while we're trying to film the room, but I prefer you not film the person. Okay, coming up this way, we're forming our semicircle here. There's some more space in this area for those at the back, and a few more we can form in the center. So if those at the back would join us on up here, please, we'll get us started. If those in the back would join us, please, we'll get us started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Capitol. My name is Peter, and I'm your guide this morning. If you'd like to take photographs and tour, you're welcome to do so. Now, the Capitol building was intended right from the beginning to be the home of our Congress. The Congress is the legislative branch of our government, which has the responsibility and the authority for making the laws for the United States. There are 2 groups that make up the Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Now, the Capitol building itself was begun in 1793. President George Washington laid the original cornerstone on September the 18th of that year, and the building first opened for Congress's use in November of 1800. The original This original south wing where we're standing now, the rotunda where you waited for the tour, which is in the very center, as well as the original north wing on the other side of the rotunda. Now, not the wings way down at each end of the Capitol. They were added on much later, but again, the center sections were in the original plans. Unfortunately, in the late 1790s, they were running a bit short on manpower, money, and materials. And since by law, Congress was required to move from Philadelphia to Washington in 1800, something needed to be ready here when they arrived. And so now, by the middle of the 1800s, the House of Representatives outgrew this room. Membership in the House is based on the population of the states. And throughout the 19th century, as the population grew, they just kept adding more members to the House. And by the 1850s, they realized that the space was getting very tight. So the decision was made to build a larger meeting chamber for the House. A new south wing was constructed. The south was down here. The House was in 1857. It stood open for a couple of years. It was used as a marketplace, a storage room, but it really was a very significant small room. So in 1864, Congress decided to give the more formal use once again.
Unless you want to tell me something about it.
See, there's a statue collection in the room. The room was formerly renamed National Statuary Hall. Each state invited us in two statues of famous deceased citizens. They can be from all walks of life to represent the states here in the building. As you look around the room, you can see 38 of them. They're not all in here because the floor simply couldn't about staying any length of time. He hit 30 years in the Senate about 1850. So again, in the early years, people did not make full careers of being in Congress. Now he's interesting too. He took such a strong stand against slavery that after 30 years of the Missouri legislature sending him to the Senate, because the senators weren't directly elected back then like they are now, but after 30 years, he was so strongly against slavery, Missouri was a slave state, that they refused to send him back. So the people in his congressional district elected him to serve in the House, and he was in this room for 1 2-year term. During that 2-year period, they debated the Kansas-Nebraska Act. His vote on that kept them from sending him back 2 years later. So again, a very interesting time in Congress. You may have heard of his grandnephew, who was named for him, Thomas Hart Benton, the famous artist who just died in 1975. So this is his granduncle who is depicted in the statue here. Now from Pennsylvania, over on the other now let me find out if you have any other questions about this room, or any questions about the room before we head downstairs. Any questions here?
I understood that when the British came to Washington, this building wasn't.
Oh, this building.
Excuse me. Back in the rotunda, you see here the pictures of Columbus. And of Coronado. This statue is of Andrew Jackson. This one of James A. Garfield. Roger Williams, founder of Rhode Island. She located here.
Started over there, so that is
surrender of at Yorktown by Cornwallis. It's projected here. Washington resigning his commission is projected in this portrait.
The stairway is right there. And there's at least 2 doorways, one into the old Senate and one into the old Supreme Court building. And I think they're both down that way.
Okay.
You want me to?
After the Supreme Court, this room is used for multiple other things, including storage. His bus is now headed as lovely when they were here, just because, well, for a number of things, because of heat, cold, fireplaces, but this was really cold. And in the summer, it's also
And then he talks about the doors, and he tells another kid of the
Here we are in land of the Amish, Pennsylvania. We're traveling on the way to Plain.
You get right around this area, you get a sudden rush of air once we get on top of this hill, and sometimes you can just feel that wind's moving you. Put your hand on the side there. Feel the pain.
Woo. Oh, Levi, you guys went right over your head. You want to try it again? Think the second time we'll do it?
Yeah, you were feeling the window pane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where's Sam taking us?
Does Sam know where Sam? Do you know where we're going?
It's supposed to be on 340. About 2 miles up. Well, it should be up here about.
I did say Plain and Fancy about 2 miles.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here we are. Here we are.
Oh. That went right by him too. McCullough would have said, check that sign.
That's okay, I'll show them on the video.
They got one called Blue Balls and another called Bird Man.
Yeah.
So they got it all. Things like that.
And cheeseburgers.
It's me, I've never been here, Tim.
This is it.
He knows where he's going.
Hey. And the buses are here.
Huh?
And the buses
Oh,
are here.
Lord, look at the buses. Don't they know it's past time for lunch? Get them out of here.
Move out.
They're almost through, they just don't know it.
Yeah.
Now, the buses. The planes? What do you do when you get off the bus? The bus? The plane? It's like, this is there, and that is this. Hi. This is hi, Mom. Obviously ready to eat. Like, now this bunch's not ready to eat, they're ready to hit the ladies' room. Quit. You feel better now?
Oh, man.
Do that, Mr. Michael?
Not me.
Hey, go!
There they are. Very good, Andy. You identify that smell. It stinks around here.
Smells good already. I smell the first chicken hearts now.
Francie, try putting on a little bit different perfume next time, will you?
Oh, yeah.
What do you expect? That's dinner you smell. Oh, gross.
Well, dinner was there once before, anyway. I spent a lot of time at the Amana colonies out in Iowa. You get quite the same experience. This crew's ready to eat for sure.
Yeah, man. They get down.
We see our crew. We're lined up to eat. Family stuff. Go ahead. Don't lean, sit down before you give me your best side. Hungry bunch of them too. Wait a minute. Francie, what's that noise I hear in the background? Such a happy bunch of eaters. Lucky me.
Do you have
Sam is going to lead us in a blessing.
Get a picture of me.
I'll buy some change.
Sure, buddy.
What's it? 50 cents for a dollar?
No. Here we are at Plain and Fancy for lunch. Several shops and Lancaster County specialty items here.
I'm gonna buy some lunch.
I think I just may do that, Tim. The kids are enjoying shopping and looking at several of the artifacts and items here. Artifacts, yeah. A lot of the items, I should say. After a delicious meal that you saw upstairs, served family style, traditional family style. Good part of our visit to the Amish territory of Lancaster County. Here are two of the non-Amish.
Hey, what?
Non-Amish. Maybe a little more offish. Could be. Here we are getting ready for our hayride. I have the illustrious Miss Griffey and the illustrious Miss Van Leer going to journey on the hayride with me.
Hayride in the dark.
Only we do it in the dark so the girls and boys can sit closer together. Is what they usually do. Hey, listen, I was a kid once.
Still are.
Yeah.
I knew what those hayrides were like. And boy, did I like them. We used to always go in the fall when it was really, really cold. And you had to have blankets. And if you stuck your head up above the blanket, it got frozen off. So we traveled for miles and miles and miles and never smelled fresh air, just hay. And each other. I have to kind of emphasize that.
What's the name of your school?
Lewis.
East.
Yeah, it's gonna be East. Lewis Middle School is what it was.
If you want foliage pictures, scenery, I can find you better spots than that.
As long as I saw
This is an Amish cemetery here.
I say the other bus is behind.
And you notice that the tombstones are all very plain and simple. No one tries to outdo his neighbor. If you were to write down everybody's name who was buried there in that cemetery, you would find that about 1/3 of them were named Stallsfoos. That is the popular name among the Lancaster County Amish. Some of the other popular names are Byler, Esch, Fisher, King, Lapp, and Zook. They started to come to this country about 1725. They continued to come till the American Revolution. That was about 50 years. Now during that time we estimate that there were 400 families came to the area. From that original 400 families, we now have 14,000 in Lancaster County, but many groups have left because we're out of farmland. It isn't possible to buy a farm now in Lancaster County. The Amish buy up all the farms that are available so that their young folks have a place to start out on. But many of them don't, so they've banded together and they've gone to western Pennsylvania, they've gone up to Canada, down to Maryland, and however it goes through a facelifting every year. About the middle of August or the beginning of August, you'll have all the men out there hammering and sawing and pounding, and then the next week all the women are over there scrubbing and cleaning and polishing.
Now here we want to go to the right around this mailbox here.
And at that school you would have it.
Lancaster County. According to our sponsor guide here, these were originally worth about $500,000 a piece, are now worth probably only about $500,000 apiece. All of these are predominant, typical Amish farms. A hard-working group of people in a beautiful territory.
Anyway, I guess we gotta change the name of the valley. Instead of calling it our $1 Million Valley, we'll have to call it our $2 Million Valley. Because when they named it $1 Million Valley, was about 10 years ago, and the value of the land has increased.
Now up here, where these trees are on the left, I want you to stop there. This is fine. This is fine. Just so that she can get down here. Now, we stopped here because I wanted to explain to you about the 3-unit house. Now, originally, the large part in the middle stood there all by itself. The farmer lived there, raised his children, and together they farmed this farm. But as time went by, the farmer grew old. Most of his children by this time had married and left home. There was too much work on this farm for just the old farmer and the child or two that he had at home. So they built that little unit on the left side there. The old folks moved out of that big house over into that new little unit, and a married son moves home and takes over the big part of the house. Now, we do it just the other way around, wouldn't we? We build a new house for the young folks. Let the old folks have their old house. But see, there the Amish are again. They're smarter than we are. The old folks don't need that big house anymore, and the young folks are supposed to have lots of children and fill up that big house. Now, they had another son who was a carpenter. The carpenter's son needed to live on a farm, so they built the unit on the right side for their carpenter son. So he can raise his children on a farm, and they learn to work on a farm the way the Amish do. Now, those houses are built smack up against each other, but you can't go from one house to the other on the inside. I think we could go out. You have to go out one front door and in the other front door. And for 1 year after the old folks move out of their big house, they're not permitted to go back into it again without first knocking on the door. In that way, they relinquish the ownership to the new family that have taken over there. And as a lot of folks tell you, that's...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Valley Forge. Valley Forge, as I mentioned, was where George Washington spent the winter. A lot of his time was spent building the log cabins you'll see here, having training for his troops who were novice. They were trained by a foreign troop named Von, I believe it was Von Steuben, right? Okay. And a lot of that time was spent, the hard cold winter was spent training his troops. Just gonna run through the park and just, we have some markers here. No battles were fought here. The cabins coming up here on your right are had a contest for building the best log cabin.
You gonna let them out, or you just gonna drive through?
Drive through. No, I'm gonna let them out just for a minute.
Okay.
Cabins.
She wants to let them out.
I gotta go. I don't know. Do you know? Yeah, you know.
I don't think you're going to be able to hear what Levi has to say to you folks. Tim.
Okay, we're just gonna let you out for a few minutes. And these are, like I say, these are the cabinets that came out in the contest for building the log cabins. And George Washington really wanted to be just like his troops, so he stayed in one of the cabins. I'll let you out right up here, bus park. This only gives you an idea of, well, the wind was whipping, of course, because we're high on a hill, and of course there was a lot of snow during that time. It was a hard, cold winter.
What? Here they are.
Ready to go, Shotwell?
Done.
Mr. Michael.
An interior of the cabin.
I'm now touring this beautiful log cabin.
Oh, doggy house.
Doggy house.
These are the original cabins?
These are rebuilt.
I was just saying.
It's not quite 100. Almost 200 years old, isn't it? Huh? This is all rebuilt.
It's supposed to be like the original.
Yeah. This is the original site.
Uh-oh, the referee's turn on. Oh! That could really hurt you, man. That's it. Oh, Mr. Michael.
I kept wanting to say, you know, that's funny, because I always heard that we had the world's richest farm. But then,
I don't care. Melody?
ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please.
Since these four people did not get to present, the rest of the
Okay. We would like to present these to our bus drivers for taking out their time to be with us and making it a fun trip and an enjoyable trip. And we hope we'll see next year that we hope this year we'll get a new type of kids and they'll be as lovable as we are.
And I have something else that I purchased.
Wait, everybody!
These are computer figures.
Everybody live!
I have computer Amish so these bus drivers would never forget our little lady of the village.
Turn here, and we have the richest farmland right here it is.
I'd just like to say it's been my pleasure. I've enjoyed it. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of mistakes, a lot of breakdowns. But without you all, the trip would not be worthwhile. And without Don and Doris, it would not be.
Come on, Fred.
Well, it's been fun. I've been a great job.
And we're not through with you yet. I want to say, this is true. I told saying that I look forward to Marvin. Whoever Marvin brings, the group of 8, so Marvin but I enjoy it, and I really always enjoy Marvin's group, and you have been one of the most I've had a lot of groups, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for making my day. Made my day.
Come on, let's go pee-pee.
You put up a lot, and you rolled with the punches, you smiled, you stuck with it. Oh, thank you.
And now we'd like to have another I'm a shepherd joke. Let's all make like I'm a shepherd and let's get the flock out of here. Let's go.
Say, get on the bus, Gus. We're gonna make little plans, Sam. Say, don't eat me, coy, Roy.
You
We love Billy Telly here.
And as the sun slowly sets in the west, we say a we cut to the memorial arch.
Who are these people that are waving at us?
Naked and starving as they are, we can never admire incomparable patience and fidelity of the soldier.
I'd like you to look behind us, Mr. Michael, in the car and see what we disturbed.
Somebody.
Say cheese.
Go ahead. And also we got them blocked in, they can't get out now.
Breakfast, the final day. Help man, King of Prussia. Our happy band prepares to depart.
I'll tell you next week. The best harvest you ever heard.
And a nutritious breakfast it is. And look at the way they're whooping it down. Bobby, is that your second or third plate? Go ahead, Nikki, tell us, is it as good as it looks or what? One of our intrepid leaders. Among another of our intrepid leaders. One of our nice leaders. One of our leaders. The Grand Poobah herself. Down with the cheese. And hummus. Hello? If you look to the right, we have the best breakfast in the area. And Peekaboo himself. What a day, what a day. Shame on you. Tray's wet. Watch that tray.
This has been such an unusual group. It's been an unusual thing. And we've got some awards to present to you.
Do you mind?
It all started.
Heather, excuse me.
It all started with Lauren because we decided that he needed an award for all of his walking on 2 crutches. And so for Lauren we've got the Iwo Jima Award for uncommon valor in the face of adversity, presented to Lauren Georgette from his grateful sponsors.
So huddle up here, will you, Lauren?
And now, one of the awards we thought was important to give, since this is another first on this trip, we decided that we need to give an armchair award. The armchair award is presented to Matt Miller for being held captive against his will.
Boy, and the ransom they wanted too to get him there.
A lost ticket award presented to Michelle Shepard and Melissa Clark. This entitles you to win a free pass to the White House on June 31st, 1988. And now, we have the Case of the Missing Case Award. Presented to Kelly Smith for surviving without clothes for 5 days.
Ooh, all right.
Boy, Kelly, somebody does a good job with crayons. Those really look like clothes.
And we have the Golden Retirement Award presented to Sue Ray for graduation from small ones to tall ones. And we have the Boy Scout Award presented to Chris Smith for helping old ladies and loaning Miss Ray money. And we have the Rucci Award.
ice hockey for being the roochiest kid on the trip.
Rooch.
The Phantom Glacier Award presented to A.W. Michael for never getting behind in his work.
You guys. You behind. Oh, thank you.
Pleasure spelled P-H.
Very funny.
And now we have the Strawberry Filling Award.
You guys are a little barrel of
Presented to Donna Norris.
Thanks,
And we have the Crunch Award. Presented to Sam for never failing us eating lunch. And we have the U-Turn Award. Presented to Levi Miller. Whenever you turn, we turn. And we have here the Creative Genius Award to Karen Ray. We didn't have no peer or talent. She had it all.
What was that ripping noise?
And last but not least, we have for our fearless leader, the Read My Lips Award. And you see these stickers? Yeah. It's Don Duck saying, read my lips.
It beats McCullough saying, read my mind.
Oh, come on, a short story is good for all of us.
There, Joe.
I have one more award. Remember in social studies, your favorite class. We talked about the shop heard around the world. The class was called the Cuckoo Award, presented to John McCullough for the laugh heard around the world. Kids know. Many firsts, many seconds, many thirds. Again, you are the most unique class I've ever taken. But you came through in the clutch so many times. There were a few times when we had to say, in our nice country. Anyway, thank you very, very much. When you leave this room, you'll go to your room, you'll stand at attention outside your doors, while your sponsor checks your room, get your keys, go get your carry-on, and you'll quietly come down and go to your bus. What time are we supposed to leave your bus? I also think that we need to give Larry a big hand for staying on the bus with 30-some extra. Well, the guards were unique also. Guys, I want to tell you on Mr. Michael's hall, you really screwed up because your guard snuck out. There was nobody on your hall.
Oh, we know that.
Started our tour
Philadelphia for our last day. We're going to begin at the Liberty Bell. You see Betty Smith, who is our guide for this tour. She's dressed in period dress. Beautiful park region, Philadelphia. Very well preserved, restored. Independence Hall. You see here, we're going to go in and tour the Liberty Bell first.
Pictures and afterwards, if you have any questions, what we'll do is we'll give you a chance to come on up and tell you a little bit about the bell, and then give you a chance for more questions and pictures after that. I'll tell you what, why don't you just come on up toward the bell a little closer. All we'll do is give a short history, tell you a little bit about the bell itself, and afterwards, if you haven't had a chance to take a picture, we'll give you another opportunity for that. You can just come on up. That way, if we have some more people coming on in, they might be able to see a little bit better also. You guys are from Missouri. Do we have anybody from any other areas? From Missouri here? Arkansas? From Connecticut? Okay, Alabama? Colorado? Anybody from California? No? We didn't get any.
Anybody from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, okay. Just a couple. New Jersey. From New Jersey? Exactly.
Here we are in the interior of the park. This is the statue of John Berry, famous Revolutionary War hero, naval hero. Interior of a beautiful park. The Independence Hall. Our group waiting patiently in line for their tour. Beautiful, beautiful setting, beautiful day. In this historic city. We see our guide Betty telling us more about the
house there yesterday, get a chance to see. Some of the younger school kids we have, we didn't come across the color, it was the old back. Yeah, I mentioned we do have a lot of changes here at Independence Hall. And one of the things that has changed, believe it or not, is the name of this place. Because it was built back in the 1730s and 40s. And at that time, we were a country here. No, we were just colonies. So the name of your building like this, Independence Hall, would be kind of silly, wouldn't it? Because we weren't even thinking of our independence back then. So in fact, it was not named Independence Hall. It's called the State House of Pennsylvania. Because it housed the colonial, and then later on, the state government of Pennsylvania. As I mentioned, we'll see all three branches of government within the second floor. Now, it got the name Independence Hall much later, actually in the 1820s, when a friend of ours came over from France. He was an ally of the Revolutionary War. His name was Lafayette. Like you folks, he came to Philadelphia. He said that he wanted to see the Hall of Independence. He said, hey, great name. So we pretty much adopted the nickname Independence Hall. It's worked its way into being the official name of this building. Essentially, it was the State House. And I look behind me real quick, sitting around the room. What branch of the government do you think that here? There you go, judicial, the courtroom. Let's look a whole lot different than the courtroom that we have today. Not a whole lot. You got a judge's bench up here, witness stand, grand jury boxes, petty jury box. A place for all the lawyers, they all sit around one table. We've also taken folks as well. And see, the reason folks are very similar to what we have today is because a lot of our legal traditions we inherited from English common law. And one of those was the right to a free and open trial. So if somebody was walking down the road, okay, make sure you get pictures of this room, because this is sometimes called the most historic room in the country. There is the assembly room. And essentially, this is where the United States of America got its start. We signed both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution right here in this room. Now, it wasn't built, however, for either one of those documents. It was built for the legislative body of the colonial and then later the state government of Pennsylvania. This is the legislative body. But it got most of its historical acclaim from to the national level.
We were going upstairs, and it's all through the area where the Pennsylvania legislature reconvened rather than move out the constitutional conventions. Really from the room in which they originally were supposed to meet.
Now this room is known as the Long Gallery. I think it's pretty obvious why it's called the Long Gallery, so we're not going to go into that. And look behind you, what does it look like it's set up for? Dinner, yeah, eat. Yeah, a lot of banquets up here. Now you see the Governor's Council chamber was right over here, the executive branch. They had an assembly room for the committee over here. So they have to use this for a lot of different purposes. Visiting dignitaries, dances, parties, banquets, that sort of thing. Now I also use it for a couple of other odd purposes, such as using it as a hospital and a prison. And by the British of all people, not by us. See, in 1776,
is like musical chairs.
I'd like to point out a distinguished congressman here, representing the various states.
It's a good place to make it.
Okay, welcome to Congress Hall, everybody. From 1790 to 1800, Philadelphia was the capital of our nation. And it was in this building that the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate met in that 10-year period. Okay, it started off being 65 members of the House of Representatives, but by 1800 there were 107. You see 107 seats in this group. The chairs are non-original, they're all reproductions. These are the kind of chairs and desks that they would have had here at the time. These two desks, one belongs to the Secretary and one belongs to Sergeant at Arms. They are original, as is the Speaker's stand. Our first Speaker in the House is Senator Christy. The Department of DC is not original, but the pattern we know is the same pattern that they had, so they just look just the same. You all want to take a look behind you up in the balcony?
The special thing about this carpet is that it contains a lot of symbols that were important in early America. The very middle is the eagle, which of course is our national symbol. And around it are the shields of the original 13 colonies, which are all linked together, emphasizing the importance of the union of the states. And that is borne out by the banner that's in the eagle's mouth. That banner says, "A pluribus unum." It's something that's written on all of our coins. It means from many one. Again, it's emphasizing the importance of all the colonies working together. Now, there are 32 desks around here. There's 16 states at the time the Senate sat here, so 2 senators from each state. The first 3 states that were added to the Union were added right here in Philadelphia, Kentucky, Vermont, and Tennessee. The desk there, the Secretary's desk, is original, so is the chair behind it, and also the chair on the dais there, which is where the Vice President, who always presides over the Senate, sat. Okay? If you have any questions, Matt is here. They'll be glad to answer them for you. Okay?
Were there any questions?
We're in front of the first bank of the United States. We just walked by the second bank a little while ago. This is the first bank of the United States. Thank you, Ms. Cole, for that social commentary. Well restored building. Here's our attended crew. Listening once again to Betty Smith at band. Beautiful day.
He did have
Here we got Franklin Court.
but he really never got around to building his own home until he was really pretty much up there in years, like the golden years, so to speak. But when he did, he didn't lose sight of the fact that he was an excellent businessman. He bought all the land from that little wall we just walked through to the street that's to your left. We built little houses facing what was then High Street, now it's Market Street. It's the leading commercial street of the city, to be used as rentals. Not only was he going to secure some income from this property, but he was going to block out the city noises. We built a little archway that you can see there to your left. We brought his horse and carriage back to the area behind the rental houses. Now, Franklin's home, as well as the building that he built as a print shop for his grandson, Benjamin Bache, were torn down by his grandchildren, actually. They were not wealthy
valuable property and really needed the money. When the National Park Service acquired this property, rather than build a reproduction of Franklin's home and the print shop, they just built this outline that you can see behind you. To kind of give you an idea of the size and dimensions of his house. The little row houses were never torn down. They have been restored. One of them is that post office I was talking about. You mail something there, your postmark is a copy of Franklin's signature. B. Reed Franklin, the way he signed his packets when he was in England before the Revolution. He was allowed free postage, so he could put free on the outside of his correspondence. But he just superimposed.
Appreciate it. I wish we could have thrown them all off sooner. Hail to the cheese. I mean the chief. We want him. The conquering monsters. Monsters. Find the bus. Hey, act like you're glad to be home. You guys look like a good going to a funeral. Hi, Amy. Bye, Amy. Hi, Jane. How'd you do? Oh, thanks, John. You never ducked before. Bye, girls. I'll see you on the bus before you leave. One last bad joke, okay? Boy, we're in trouble now. I want you to... You guys, I need to only believe about a third of what they tell you. Yeah. Good luck with the horses, Sarah. Colleen. Aren't we glad to see us? Who, eh? Oh. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? Oh, I got it. Good. It's even better. How did you? Can I get this back?
We made it home and we're all
Thank you. What a crew. Now what? Okay. One more picture? Okay. Two more pictures. Okay, I can do that. All right. You got to ride home or not? Oh, we're trying to greet though. Okay. A wonderful, wonderful end. Too late, you're already a star. Okay.